Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me again in this live section. So, let us actually dive deep into what we really have today. So, African leaders sue Nigerian government over human rights violation based on Mazi Nnamdi Kalu's case. So, before I actually play a video for you guys to watch what this man have to say about the Nigerian government, the way he said that he's going to sue Nigerian government for the way they violated Mazi Nnamdi Kalu's rights. Now he went on further telling us about the former accusation against Nigeria. So he highlighted that Nigeria is a signatory to Article 34, Section 6 of the protocol, especially establishing the African Court on Human and People's Rights. Nigeria is this bound by law to respect the rights protected by this court, having both signed and ratified the relevant treaties. So the criticism of human rights violation, the speaker condemned Nigeria's involvement in abduction, referenced Mazi Nnamdi Kalu's illegal redemption from Kenya, also cited wider issues like terrorist activities like Boko Haram, taking young girls, kidnapping, burglary, and general lawlessness happening without accountability. And the speaker also talked about failure of governance and security. The speaker warned that Nigeria is falling to pieces under the weight of this violation. Despite having a large population, that's 250 million, the country is failing to protect its citizens and upholding justice. So another thing is global and continental watchfulness. The speaker also told us that Speaker to say that Africa and the world have watched in silence, implying that his legal action suing Nigeria is long overdue. Anyway, guys, I want you guys to just hear from what this speaker have to say. This is an African leader, and this is what he said about Nigerian government. Guys, just watch this, and I'll be right back.
On behalf of Pan-African Forum Limited and Associates, to place before the African Union Commission a formal submission on the failure of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to deposit the Article 34, subsection 6 declaration, having signed and ratified to the protocols and the treaty of the setting up of the African Court on Human and People's Rights in Arusha. It is a moment for me, as a person who has struggled all along,
please share the life for
that as we see Nigeria abduct people,
you're welcome,
and as we see the country of Nigeria fall to pieces, we watch abduction, terrorists picking up girls, banditry, hostage, kidnap. We have kept quiet. We have listened, we have watched. With a population of 250 million people, Africa has watched. Africa has neglected to take this step. Yet this was a protocol that was endorsed by the African Union itself, by Organization of African Unity itself, and other member states. It is sad, therefore, that today, as we see people who have been killed, maimed, kidnapped, civil strife inside Nigeria, a state falling to pieces, the center cannot hold. The leadership of Buhari did its part to fracture the center of this nation, a great nation in Africa, with the potential to help the three African people, has failed to give an example as a big power, a superpower on the continent of Africa. I have submitted this application before the chairperson of the AU Chair Commission for them to invoke the articles and take action to the same in order to realize the formation of the African Court on Human and People's Rights, to avoid our people being shipped, to avoid our continent looking at the International Criminal Court as the only alternative. Yet we have mechanisms to stop Africans being exported across to the Netherlands, to give Netherlands more money, to give them more employment, because there are people working in those courts, and yet we want more and more youth on this continent to work on the continent, more lawyers, more professionals, experts, to have our own court that can sentence people, that can look at our bit differences. We have neglected Article 34, C, section 6. Therefore, I've taken the first step to take Nigeria to court. I want to invoke procedurally this journey. This submission, therefore, is made in the interest of advancing foundational principles of the African Union, namely the promotion of human rights across irrespective and the respect of rule of law, access to justice to all African people on their own continent. My Pan-Africanism is different from those who talk, shout, academics who make noise, make statements that I'm not in that theater. I am in a practical theater to use the tools of engagement, the tools of a strategic management of this continent. It concerns the continued failure of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a should state with 250 million people. Every day you open up your TV, you see the people's cry. Abduction, killings, shootings, slaughter, defilement, terrorists. Therefore, Article 34, subsection 6 of the Protocol of the African Charter of the Establishment of the African Court on Human and People's Rights, called AFCHPR, this has been defied, despite the fact that Nigeria ratified the treaty. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pan-African Forum and Associates, Limited and Associated, in line with this mission to uphold justice, democracy, dignity for the African peoples, both in Nigeria from north to east, west to south, the suffering masses of this great nation have taken this respectfully, called on the African Union Commission to treat this matter as urgent and to take appropriate institutional action in line with AU legal norms and values to ask Nigeria as to why people are being killed.
Yes.
People are being killed in Nigeria, slaughtered, abducted while we are watching. People are disappearing. Terrorists are forming up groups. Terror cells have sprung up. Fulani herders are taking over this country with 20 million cows, cattle, roaming the whole country from North Sahara Desert to South Atlantic Ocean. They want to take over this country. One dominant feature among us is the killings, the slaughter, the defilement, the rape, the earth-scorched poison that Nigeria is facing. That Nigeria and the Nigerian citizens are undergoing in Benue State, 200 people slaughtered, maimed in cold blood. We are keeping quiet. Not me. Therefore, the legal framework and obligation of the African Court Protocol 1998 was adopted by the OAU and continued under AU, established and it established a judicial organ that will try crimes of this nature. And the Human Charter on Human and People's Rights, Article 5, subsection 3 is very clear. The protocol enables individuals like me, and NGOs and other agencies to directly approach the court.
Okay.
If that country has submitted the instruments under Article 34(6). Why, therefore, I'm asking the Federal Republic of Nigeria that ratified the protocol has refused for 20 years, over 20 years, not to deposit this crucial declaration. I want anyone who has got the knowledge to answer me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing this for humanity. And let me go in history. Nigeria is not my country. But Nigeria is an African country that would have made us proud if we put it back in order. The weakening of constitutional continental justice system has begun with Nigeria. Nigeria continued to fail as a state, a superpower with 250 million people.
Please.
Has failed to place these documents before the court. Remember, we have 11 judges. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate my comrade, my dear friend, brother from Mali, Sako, for having taken over as the presiding president. And hopefully, with you at the helm, we are going to change Africa through this court, that no African should be shipped to International Criminal Court, of which America does not subscribe to, but America harasses, arrests, abates to arrest the people and take them there. C. Violation of AU normative commitments. Nigeria's refusal contradicts the African Union commitment to the Charter of Democracy, Dignity, Election Governance, the Constitutive Act of AU, and Agenda 2063, aspiration for a just, rights respecting Africa. Therefore, it has violated. 4. Political and moral responsibility. As Africa's most populous country and a key contributor to continental peace and governance frameworks, Nigeria bears a unique responsibility. It cannot advocate for African solutions for African problems, yet while rejecting African legal accountability for African mechanisms. Mark that point. 5. Our recommendations are the following. That the Pan-African Forum respectfully urges the African Union Commission President, the chairperson, Ambassador, His Honorable Mahmoud Yusuf Ali, to immediately, and I repeat, immediately, because now we are going to ask the legal department to interpret, to tell me why 11 judges.
So guys, you guys have heard what the speaker said. Now I'm actually going to summarize what this man said in this video. The speaker has referenced Article 34, Section 6 of the Protocol of the African Court on Human Rights and People's Rights, which Nigeria signed and ratified. Despite this, Nigeria violated the treaty by participating in the extraordinary retention and abduction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Signing the treaty means Nigeria accepted the authority of the African Court, but they ignored it in practice. Then, African Court is a legal platform against state oppression. By approaching the African Court, African leaders and human rights lawyers are using legal tools to challenge state-sponsored oppression. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is a test of whether African institutions can stand against illegal state behavior. The speaker said Nigeria is a country where people are abducted without trial. Terrorists kidnap schoolgirls, example, Chibok and the rest, and citizens are robbed and taken hostage without government action. This has led to fear, distrust, and insecurity across the country. The speaker emphasized that Nigeria is breaking down socially and politically, and institutions have failed to protect citizens, and law enforcement often contributes to oppression instead of providing safety. The statement challenged African leaders and the global community for staying quiet. It says Africans have kept quiet, listened and watched as people are abused, international laws are broken, citizens are left to suffer without justice. The speaker also implies that African nations must hold each other accountable. The lawsuit is not just about Nigeria, it's about restoring dignity, law and justice across Africa. With a population of over 250 million, Nigeria has citizen power, but the government is disconnected from the people's pay. The speaker urged both citizens and institutions to rise up legally and morally to stop these abuses. Like you can see that the speaker is saying that out of 250 million people in Nigeria, still the president does not even care about the citizens. Now, he was also referring to the way they adopted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, saying that it was a violation of his human rights. And you can see that the African leaders are saying, warning the Nigerian government that they should correct the mistake they are already doing, that they should correct it. So they went on further, and they went on to accuse the speaker also said that they accuse it of violating international treaties, expose deep failures in human rights and governance. Because what the speaker is trying to do now is to expose deep failures in human rights and governance. He also urged African leaders to stop being silent and act legally and publicly against such violence. So the speaker is not only talking about, the speaker is saying this because he wants to expose the deep failures in human rights and governance, especially in Nigeria, and also urge African leaders to stop being silent, and they should act legally and publicly against such violations. Like, enough is enough. People are not people. You can see that I told you people that people are watching. Many people are watching what is going on in Nigeria. So they already know that, oh, this is what Nigeria is turning into. That's why people are coming out to talk about Nigerian government, how poor Nigerian government is. They're coming to talk about it. So, looking at what the speaker also said, the speaker also talked about the violation of international and regional treaties. Nigeria, by adopting Nnamdi Kanu, by passing international due processes, which is violating. So the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights, United Nations Convention Against Torture, its own domestic extradition laws. This shows a pattern of lawlessness, even while being part of international legal communities. That is what the speaker is saying. The speaker also hinted that Nigeria's action in Kenya, which is abduction of Kanu, were not just illegal but also disrespectful to Kenya's sovereignty. It sends a dangerous message, like one African country can illegally operate in another, which could destabilize African peace and diplomatic unity. So the speaker went on further to tell us that the international community is what? Is watching. The case has attracted global attention, especially from the United Nations Working Group in Arbitrary Detention, Amnesty International and other human rights watchdogs. The speaker warns that Nigeria's actions are making it lose credibility on the world stage. Now, the speaker also went on further to elaborate more on what he was saying. He was talking about Nnamdi Kanu as a symbol of border oppression. The speaker is not only talking about Nnamdi Kanu, he's using Kanu's case to reflect the broader suffering of oppressed groups in Nigeria. It's about the suppression of voices from the southeast, the targeting of activities, journalists, and critics. So he went on further talking about the rising insecurity is a product of government failure, like the kidnapping, the banditry, the Boko Haram terrorism, and general unrest are symptoms of a broken system. The speaker holds the Nigerian government responsible for creating the atmosphere of fear and chaos that allows this violence to spread. Now, the speaker also went on further to tell us that African leaders are setting a precedent. By suing Nigeria, African leaders are showing solidarity with the oppressed, declaring that no African country is above the law, challenging impunity and the misuse of power. So you can see when the speaker was saying that he's going to sue Nigerian government for the way they are handling their citizens and the way they're not even obeying what the law says. So the speaker went on to tell us that silence is what? Complicity. This is what he means by silence is complicity. The speaker said Africa and the world have kept quiet for too long. He's saying that Africa is keeping quiet for too long. They're not saying anything based on what is going on. The point challenges fellow African leaders, activists, and what? Citizens. Now, let us actually take a look at what this person said there. He said Nigeria is a lawless country with criminal politicians that has no conscience from Nigeria. Exactly. Nigeria is a lawless country. A country that's criminals fully. A country that our politicians are all criminals. They have no conscience. They have no conscience. Imagine a country in the sense that they say that, oh, they have a law governing them. You have a law governing you. You cannot be able to obey what the law says. If you cannot be able to obey what the law says, that means it's a lawless country, whereby everybody in power, whereby the politicians are all criminal. A country that has no consciousness, a country that they will stay like this and they watch their own citizens die. No, that is not a country at all. It is not a country. So I still agree that Nigeria is what? A lawless country. So returning on to what the speaker said, the speaker is saying that Africa and the world have kept quiet for too long and they need to say something. They need to say something. They cannot keep folding their hands and watch Nigeria go off like that. So the speaker went on further. He emphasized that when the law fails and the government silence dissent, the people must rise through legal, peaceful means to resist. Yes, I agree on what the speaker said. He says that when the law fails and when the government goes silent, then what do? We need to rise through legal or peaceful means to resist. To say, oh no, we cannot just keep quiet, even though the government has failed and the government has gone silent. We need to rise. He also said that lawsuits like this one are part of that resistance within a democratic framework. Now, the speaker said that a call for peace through justice. He went on further telling us that true peace cannot exist when there's injustice. The speaker argued that justice must be done for Nnamdi Kanu and other victims of illegal detentions, or Nigeria will continue to suffer political instability and national disunity. So we're not just fighting for Nnamdi Kanu, we are fighting for the soul of Nigeria and the future of Africa. Justice must be done and impunity must end. That is it. So I want you guys to also hear more of what the speaker have to say, this African leader have to say, and I'll be right back. Just watch this video and I'll be back to also explain to you guys what the speaker really meant in this video. Guys, just take a listen.
I seated in Arusha doing nothing. If you don't tell me that, I'm gonna go further. I have now the way. Why should we be paying for 11 judges when Nigeria cannot come to court? Why? Why are we paying taxes? Why are we giving donation to African Union? When Tinubu cannot come to court? When Tinubu cannot be answered to this court? Why? Why Buhari goes around to kidnap? When the European Union that is funding the Nigerian rogue system is abducting people, detaining people in Finland, in Norway, in other places. Why should we keep quiet? I have not kept quiet. Recommendations. I will formally want to formally notify and engage Nigeria. The AU, and I request the AU through its legal system to request the government of Nigeria to immediately surrender the declaration and Article 34(6) declaration enabling the access to the court for its citizens and the civil society and individuals who have been traumatized, slaughtered, killed, Fulani herdsmen coming to take over their farms. We need help here. And that help must come now, not tomorrow, now, today. 2,
please share the life.
Include AU legal and
share the life, please.
Ministerial reporting to go to Nigeria to find out, ensure Nigeria's non-deposit is flagged in upcoming AU legal compliance reports, where I have not seen any report. Mr. Bankole has been hiding these reports. Time has come, Mr. Bankole have been working. I've got everything from your own people in AU. They have given me every information. And I want to thank my researchers, my friends, my comrades. Thank you very much. Continue doing the good job. Feed me with this information. I want to forward the clean African Union. I want to clean this. I want to bring a better African Union that can speak for the people of Africa, not speak for the interests of the French.
Yes.
Fellow countrymen, fellow continent citizens, global citizens, those in the diaspora, it is very disheartening. The strength of enforcement of mechanisms. I want to recommend to the AU Assembly and the relevant policy organs to consider compliance mechanisms or soft sanctions for state parties like in Nigeria that fail to implement judicial and treaty commitments. It's sad. When we want to go and accuse people in the ICC, I'm doing this to help some people on the continent who run around, who don't know. They run everything that happens. They want to run to ICC. No. We got our independence. We don't need to run to ICC. We need to run to Arusha. We need to run to Addis Ababa. We need to run to ECOWAS. We need to run to SADC, South Africa. We can't create a parliament, and the parliament is useless. Why do we send our MPs to South Africa? I'm doing this radically to change the situation. Africa must stand. I am not bad. Call me anything, but I'm not going to give up. I'm not fighting anybody by gun. The last I handled a gun was a long time ago, when I was fighting Idi Amin and other people. I am using the brains to educate Africa that this is the route to go. The issue of public communique. The AUC, African Commission, AUC, should issue a clear communique. And I want to see it in black and white. Because if you don't do this, the next action I'm coming we shall hear your cases without you.
Did you get that?
And that is Nigeria, be careful.
Nigeria.
I'm on you.
It's one.
Because you are the biggest country in Africa. We don't need you in Africa to create any problem for us. We need you to help us so that other people can see you are doing something very important. It is sad, therefore, to have very serious interactions. It is sad, therefore, to have very, very serious countries like Nigeria to fail us. Nigeria is a shame to Africa.
Nigeria is a shame.
600 people die in a flood. This place, a country with resources consumed by corruption, by luxury, no medicine. The head of state flies to France because in Britain we are blocked. Flies to France to get medical treatment. Yet Panadols are missing in hospitals in Nigeria. The African court, therefore, in conclusion of Schuman and the people's rights, I want to say, and I state here categorically, that the African Court on Human and the People's Right was not created as a symbolic institution, but a living judicial mechanism with 11 judges to serve Africans. Therefore, I conclude by saying, if citizens of Nigeria, the largest democracy on the continent, cannot access this court, cannot access justice, then the integrity of African Union human rights systems is at risk. We can't say we created the African Union for this type of mess. This is a critical moment for the African Union Commission to act with clarity, courage, and consistency. I remain available for further dialogue and legal engagement on this matter. I give only 4 days for reply.
4 days.
Failure, I will move because I have already got what to do, where to do it, how to do it. I will move across to stage the last staging point. I remain the chairman, founder of Pan-African Forum Limited and Associates. You can reach me on africastrategy@hotmail.com if you have anything to write. This statement issued in Arusha, Tanzania on 1st of July 2025. The year of our Lord. Thank you. God bless you. And I want to be very candid that these countries have got a habit of conniving with states like Finland, Norway, in Africa, who come and preach human rights in their countries, but they come to Africa, ignore the human rights that are being abused in the African continent. Finland is dealing with Nigeria to obtain gas, to obtain oil contracts, construction of roads, infrastructure, but it is not bothering to tell the world under the European law, which again, Article 41 of the European Convention and the Universal Suffrage law that touches human rights, the right of explaining to a court that there is a conflict that is killing people. They have not done it. I want to thank you and thank all of you who have stood by me. I will pro bono on a voluntary basis struggle on. Those who want to help me, help me. My contributions are very clear. Every contribution of yours will be accounted for. My PayPal is very available. My journey I am on, I will put it here.
So guys, you guys have heard what the speaker said about the Nigerian government, saying that they're going to sue the Nigerian government for the way they are treating the citizens. So this, I'm going to explain what the speaker said there. The speaker questions the legitimacy of Nigeria's government, especially since citizens are being abused and laws are being ignored. So citizens are feeling their duties, but the government fails to protect them. Like the citizens are fulfilling their duties, but the government has failed to protect them. He's questioning why Nigeria is even part of continental organization when it refuses to uphold justice and human rights. Now, he went on further to talk about Tinubu's absence from the African court. Now, the speaker criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for ignoring the African court summons or responsibility. It suggests that Nigerian leadership is above the law, refusing to account for human rights violation. This reflects executive impunity, a major theme in the call for international intervention. So he went on further. Speaker accuses individuals or agents, possibly linked to government or security, of involvement in kidnapping and abductions. He is questioning how these actions are allowed to happen without prosecution, without accountability. Now, he went on further to talk about the European Union is adopting people and detaining them in Finland and Norway. This could this could point to the arrest of pro-Biafran activists abroad or international cooperation in wrongful detentions or retention. The speaker is asking, why are foreign governments helping Nigeria repress people even outside Nigeria? And he went on further to say, why should we keep quiet? We must not keep quiet. A clear call to action. The speaker warns that silence is complicity and the people must speak up both inside and outside Nigeria. So he went on further to symbolically notify the highest figure of power in the land. He wants recognition that what is happening to the people is not acceptable and their cries for justice must be heard. So the demand to withdraw from Article 34, Section 6 declaration requests the government of Nigeria to immediately surrender the declaration of Article 34, Section 6. This article allows Nigerian citizens to take their government to the African court. The speaker is asking Nigeria to surrender it, not to hide, but to take responsibility. Is a call for international focus on this article to push Nigeria to either comply or face consequences. Now, the speaker went on further to talk about the pains of Nigeria, the killings, the harassment, and the land grabs. They are traumatized, slaughtered, killed, harassment, bloody harassment coming to take over their farm. This section gives a clear human cause. The people are being slaughtered, harassed, and disposed of their land. Farming communities, especially in rural areas, are under attack, often by bandits or herders. The speaker insists that help is urgent, not tomorrow, but now. We need that help now because things are getting out of hand. The speaker went on further to request for KU legal to investigate Nigeria. He went on further to say, send your report to go to Nigeria, defuse and deflag Nigeria. KU legal likely refers to a compliance or oversight body under the African Union or partner institutions. He is urging these people to investigate Nigerian human rights violation, flag Nigeria for non-compliance, expose hidden report, which he accuses the Sambanko of suppressing. Now, the speaker went on further to say cover-up accusation. Now, he went on further to say that Sambanko has been hiding this report. Sambanko is possibly a legal intelligence or compliance agency connected to international monitoring. The speaker accuses them of withholding key findings, suppressing facts about Nigeria's human rights violation, giving contradictory or manipulated information. So this is what the speaker is talking about. The speaker is saying that this is a call to African and global institutions. So everything he's saying yes is a call to African and global institutions that they should hold Nigeria accountable. They should expose corruption, the adoptions and the cover-up. And also, he went on further to say that the Nigerian government should surrender to chapter 34, section 6, saying that the citizens can actually take their government to the African courts. Now, he went on further to say that they should the call to African and global institutions is to expose corruption, adoptions and cover-up, defend victims of state oppression, don't remain silent while people are slaughtered, displaced and imprisoned. And the speaker is saying that we need justice today and not tomorrow. So guys, just hear what Barrister Darlington have to say about Nigerian government as well as the insecurity in the land, and I'll be right back. Just take a listen, guys. What he really said here is actually mind-blowing. Guys, take a look at this. I'll be right back to analyze what the speaker said about Nigerian government and the reason why he said he's going to sue Nigerian government. Guys, just watch this.
The prosecution, one of their prosecution witnesses, I think Mr. BBB or so, all the things they asked him was saying no. At a point, the the judge or Justice Omoto got angry and was reprimanding them that if they don't have any matter to, they should stop coming and all that. It happened. So there was nothing concrete. I was thinking they are going to present a cache of arms stockpiled by Nnamdi Kanu somewhere. Because how can you be a terrorist without gun, Mr. Okoro? Mention anywhere in the world where you see terrorists without a single, not even cutlass with them.
You are a lawyer. What about inciting people? Because they also said it was inciting people.
What are you talking about? Inciting in what way? Hold on.
They recovered radio Biafra equipment from him.
Hold on, please. That is not the one of the hallmark of a terrorist. Politicians do incite people. True of us. Politicians. Were you not here when somebody told you that God told him that they should kill Tinubu's wife, Oluremi, that she's an infidel? Did it not happen in this country? That man was not even arrested, not to talk of questioning. What does that tell you? That one is even worse. The man who said it, Sheikh Tenshi. So when you are talking of incitement, I don't know what you people are talking about. That is not the hallmark. That's not the prescription of a terrorist. Terrorists mean you are heavily armed, killing people, taking up territories, destroying villages and all that.
The terrorists also attack soft targets deliberately.
Is that what?
They deliberately attack soft targets.
They don't look, as long as they're terrorists. To cause
disaffection between the government and the people.
Listen very well. A terrorist is a terrorist. And there are prescriptions. That's why no nation in the whole world has seen Nnamdi Kanu as a terrorist or IPOB as a terrorist group. Because they know how to describe a terrorist or terrorist organization. They know. This thing that Killer Fulani Herdsmen are doing is a perfect description of terrorism. Perfect description. But the federal government of Nigeria don't want to see that. They are still calling it a farmer header class. Do they need all the forest, all the land in the whole of Nigeria to do their business? If it is farmer header clash, no, tell me. You mean they don't have a place? You know, you had when Niger State to call them, come. If you are looking for land, we have more than enough. Kano State to call them, come, we have more than enough. Did they listen? They said no. So if it is land they are looking for, the states have promised them, come and take as much as you like a Niger State. Niger State has the size of the whole of Southwest.
Okay.
So why couldn't they go there if they are looking for land? If they are looking for land. I'm talking of a land that is twice the size of Lagos State. You can get it in Niger State, and yet there's vast area still left. 76,000.
Barrister, we are left with just 1 minute. Now, on the 18th of July, the prosecution and the defense will make their final addresses. What do you expect?
I cannot speak to them. The fact is that they have closed their case, Abi. Yes. The procedure and processes are going on fine.
Okay.
But from the look of things, it looks like the federal government have nothing against Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay. So,
yes.
So they are likely to let him go.
Well, is it not obvious? Is it not obvious? When they don't have any strong evidence against him, I told you here. If they have come out and said, look, it was Nnamdi Kanu, the whole of one part of Imo State, he occupied it, he killed every people, he did this, he did, that he made the broadcast. Who told you?
Okay.
So this other one that are killing in Benue, it was Nnamdi Kanu that incited them too, Abi. It was Nnamdi Kanu. He was the one that incited them. Why didn't they say that?
Well, Barrister, July 18th is about a month away from today, so let's see what goes on before then and on that day. This will be a good place to anchor this conversation.
If we don't get angry with this thing, it will not get away. There is a proverb in my place that if you have rashes on your buttocks and you are covering it, the thing will continue to fester. But when you expose it, shame will allow you to stay there, it will go away. Why is it that each time Tinubu want to address this, he will not mention names? You mean up till now, Tinubu does not know who is causing this problem in Nigeria. Up till now, they don't know. Up till now, they don't know. They don't call them out. I expected Tinubu to call all the Fulani leaders, to call their people to order. That is the way to go. Buhari is there. He knows all this is. He kept quiet. If Nigerians were to be killing Fulani the way they are killing other people, wouldn't Buhari talk? Esther, wouldn't Buhari talk? They kept quiet because they are the one killing other people. You heard all the statement they have made concerning Benue especially, telling Benue people they must do this before peace can reign. Imagine terrorists giving condition in Nigeria where Tinubu is the president.
He said so because we killed 200 people in Benue State, and so what? Is that why you people are crying and complaining? You are going to social crying and complaining. You are going to social media to complain. What you saw is just small. You people have been writing that you will chase Fulani out of Benue State.
Yeah, that one is rubbish.
But now you are the ones crying. How many of our cows were killed? How many of our people were killed in the bushes and in the Aruga settlements that you are crying over the killing of mere 200 people? So what? You have not seen anything yet. I can kill 150 for one of my cows killed. For me, it's an eye for an eye. If you offend me, I don't wait. I take my vengeance immediately. I have stopped thinking twice. I don't forgive or forget. You do me, I revenge as a Fulani of the forest. Killing a human being who offends me or kills my cow is nothing to me. There is no killing that is difficult for me to carry out to avenge my cow or any wrong done to me. We have not even started and you people are crying already. You will soon see what we are going to do.
He even added something.
Yes,
he said the Fulanis are not government. He said Fulanis are not government. Maybe if government doesn't want to take action, they themselves, they don't waste time. Esther, thank God you are reading this thing now. Nigerians, you can see what we are talking about. You can see. I told him the true story. That is farmer header class. What kind of farmer header class?
They are still running with that narrative.
Can you just imagine? All because the president said it himself. That is farmer header class.
Master, did you know that 11 states, because of the resurgence and in killing spree across the nation, 11 states are taking steps to commence ranching as a way to address the age-long violent clashes.
That is not the problem. I told you here that thing will not work. Esther, even if you give these people a sort of to rear their cattle, they will not agree. That is not what they want. I told Tinubu here when he started this cattle whatever ranch, it will not work. That's not what they want. Are you sure?
But the states that are ready to commence the ranching are Lagos. Wait, listen, Lagos, Plateau, Ondo, Zamfara, Bauchi, Delta, Niger, Kano, Jigawa, Nasarawa, and Anambra states. They said the development comes against the surge in killings in Benue and Plateau communities linked to armed headers because of the killings of over 200 persons last week. So, Barrister, this ranching has been something that has been touted since the administration of Muhammadu Buhari. But the fear is that when you give these individuals opportunities to ranch, they take over the settlements.
Have I not told you that that's not what they want?
So what?
Listen very well.
Okay.
During Buhari, when they were pretending to gullible Nigeria that they want to solve the problem, Niger State said they should come and all the land, whatever they need, they provide it. It happened. I discussed it. The Kano State said they should come if they are looking for land. But that was the first thing they started making noise that they need land, no place. Kiniko. I said, look at these people, pretenders. Esther, they are, at least Niger State is on the temperate region. It's not in the desert or whatever. So whatever you want to do there, Esther, Niger State is the size of the entire Southwest. Can you just imagine? South, come. Esther, did they listen to them? Did they listen to them? I'm asking you. So if land is their problem, this one that they are offered to them on a platter of gold. Kogi State did the same thing. Kogi State is the size of the entire Southeast. Esther, I hope you are listening to me.
I'm listening to you, sir.
Kogi State is the size of the entire Southeast of 5 states. So what land are you looking for? You cannot find in this place, Esther. Please tell me. Is the Kogi State in the desert? No, tell me. To tell you that these people are pretenders, I can use it to build a new city for Fulanis. So that whether you're a Fulani man from the moon, from the outer space, from wherever, from inner Mongolia, outside Mongolia, if you enter Nigeria, you go there. Since they are your people, you can be comfortable there without any problem. Esther, I made that suggestion here. That Buhari have the opportunity. Since they listen to him, go and do this. You have enough land to rehabilitate these people. Esther, did anybody listen to me? No. Hey. So why do you think that this ranching? What are you talking about? The agenda is temple. Look at what somebody said with his mouth. Only not for what he did. They almost killed the outcome in the same Benue, a governor, elected governor, and they come out to tell you how they did it. Yet no arrest was made. Esther, no arrest. Oh my, look, look, you see these people, the way they are doing this, they will cause problem, Esther. I'm not joking. No. Collect their village, collect their farmland, and rename the village. The most annoying thing from Nigeria, at least the securities you have told us to, they said that these people are not from Nigeria. So what are you doing? Esther, what are they doing? You can see how Tinubu is going to win 2027, Abi. That you allow people to come into Nigeria and be killing Nigerians, and you want those Nigerians to come and vote for you in 2027. How can that be? Esther, how can that be? With this level of insecurity, Tinubu is still campaigning for 2027. Is it possible? No, tell me, is it possible? These are the things that make other leaders in other countries resign from office. You don't need to be told. You don't resign on your own because you have failed. You have failed. How can you go for
ranching be established in their own home base?
I am telling you.
When you set up a ranching facility, water, the feedstock, everything is provided there by the state government. I'm sorry to say, I know that everyone has a freedom to move from one location to the other. Must they reside in other cities, in other states?
Esther, look,
do they have to travel across board?
Look, discussing this matter is very annoying on its own.
No, we have to, Barrister Darlington, because tomorrow you hear of another killing. You can hear one of them who came on social media to post. I'm expecting that the DSS will drill this individual and not just go and catch innocent Nigerians because the president has given you a timeline. Without proper security, Barrister Darlington, your economy will definitely not thrive. That one is for sure. And not with the external situation going on now with Israel, Iran, the US. Obviously, we know that Nigeria relies heavily on import. We import a lot of things. So if anything happens that there's going to be a constraint in a disbursing of crude oil or having to import crude oil, there's a volatility in the country. So can we actually afford any of this particular misdemeanor? Can we afford it? What is the immediate solution? Imagine you're advising the president. What should be applied to curtail this? This is wrong. This is bad.
When a man does not want your advice, what he's doing is his mind. Tinubu is after 2027.
You cannot say so.
I said
if you don't have a people, if you don't have a people, what's 2027?
It doesn't matter. 2 people can vote him into office. Two people.
It's not possible.
Apparently,
Nigerians to allow that.
Are you serious? Look at what he said in Benin. Does it mean that Tinubu wants to solve this problem?
They kept saying that he doesn't have the political will to resolve this.
Okay. Am I lying?
So the resurgence has become so incessant. According to them, they feel that there are certain elements who are in the opposition or certain persons who are not happy with him who have decided to create this, they call it a facade of insecurity, so that it will seem like the president is incapable of actually resolving insecurity, which would be a major issue for him in terms of accumulating trust for his campaign in 2027. Now, my question is, if the presidency has realized that indeed there are certain persons whom we don't know, but maybe they know, that are actually trying to defame his administration, is this not an opportunity to take decisive action? Call out this, I'm sure with your security intelligence, what is the fear of calling these individuals out? What is the fear of publicly prosecuting them? If there is any inkling that an individual is named as the one who is galvanizing, why not call them out? Why are you afraid? What is the fear?
Esther, God works in a wonderful way. Initially in this country, did they not tell you that Nnamdi Kanu is the problem of Nigeria? Insecurity. In fact, if any husband and wife are fighting in Sokoto, is Nnamdi Kanu. If 2 farmers are quarreling in Zamfara, is Nnamdi Kanu and the Igbo people. Is that not what they were telling you here? Now, the truth has come out here. They cannot do anything. Esther, what does that tell you? Were you not here when they were? Everything is IPOB. Everything is IPOB. Is that not true? Even the answers that the youth who came together to challenge police brutality, it was Nnamdi Kanu. Is that not true? Now that these ones have exposed themselves.
So guys, you guys have listened to what Barrister Darlington have to say concerning this issue, as well as what the speaker from this African leader have to say concerning Nigerian government. They went on further to tell us that, about this Nnamdi Kanu's abduction and the way they detained him. That is what they are trying to say. So the speaker, that's the African leader, went on further to say that the speaker, he questioned the legitimacy of Nigerian government especially since citizens are being abused and their laws are being ignored. That the citizens are fulfilling their duties, but the government has failed to protect their people. Now, the speaker was questioning why Nigeria is being part of continental organizations when it refuses to uphold justice and human rights. Like the speaker is saying that why is Nigeria itself among the constitutional organizations? They are among the constitutional organization, but they have refused to do the right. They have refused to uphold justice and human rights. Look at the way they're violating the Kalu's rights. Like according to what somebody said here and the comment section, he's saying vengeance. Like we need to stand up, just like what the speaker said. We need to stand up. If the government has kept silence and the law is not going so well, we need to stand up. We don't need to remain in silence. We don't need to remain in silence. We need to fight. We need to fight for ourselves. Since the government has definitely gone silent, we don't need to fold our arms and say, okay, because the government has gone silent, we all should keep quiet. No, we should fight. That's what we need to do. Now, the speaker also went as far as talking about that the silence is complicity and the people must speak up both inside and outside Nigeria. And now he went on further to tell us that he had to say he went on further to say direct appeal to Nigerian monarch. He went on further to say, I will formally notify the King of Nigeria, symbolically notifying the highest figure of power in the land. He wants recognition that what is happening to the people is not acceptable and their cries for justice must be heard. Now, this is what he told Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do. He told Bola Ahmed Tinubu to withdraw. He requested the government of Nigeria to immediately surrender the declaration of Article 34, Chapter 34, Section 6. He went on further to tell us that this article allows Nigerian citizens to take their government to the African court. Yes, it gives the citizens the power to take their government anytime their government is misbehaving or the government is not acting right, that the government should be taking what to African courts. The speaker is asking Nigeria to surrender it, not to hide, but take responsibility. It calls for international focus on this article to push Nigeria to either comply or face what the consequences. Now he went on further to talk about pain of Nigerians, the killings, the harassment, the land grabbing that the Fulani herdsmen are doing to the citizens. Now, he went up and said that the traumatized, the slaughter, the killed, the killed harassment and bloody harassment coming to take over their farms. Now, he went up further to say that people are being slaughtered, they're being harassed and dispossessed of their land. Farming communities, especially in rural areas, are under attack, often by bandits or what herders. The speaker insists that help must come now. Urgently, we need help, not tomorrow. We need it now. We need it now. Now, you guys were aware that they attacked Benue State. They also this Fulani herdsmen also attack River State. Now, if they attack Benue State and they also attack River State, who knows the next state? Just like in Imo State, the people of Obo will have to even organize some people who are going to defend their community. The people of Obo in Imo State had to organize people. And it was the same Fulani herdsmen, they attacked people in Imo State. Like, this is terrible, guys. It is really terrible. And looking at what is going on in Nigeria, people are not happy about it. Like I told you guys, people are watching. The African unions are watching. The African leaders are watching. The UN are watching. Everybody is watching. The European Union are watching what is going on in Nigeria. They know how they have been detaining Masin Dambikali illegally. They know the insecurity. They know the way the Fulani herdsmen are attacking, and the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is keeping quiet about it. The worst part of it is that I do look at this and I laugh. How can Bola Ahmed Tinubu be contesting coming out for presidential election 2027 when he fully knows that people will not vote for him? Do you know why? Because people have already seen that people have seen the killings going on in Nigeria, and they have seen how quiet the Bola Ahmed Tinubu has gone on that case. And does he really think that people will still want to vote for him to come another second tenure when already you couldn't even do anything about the insecurity in Nigeria? I don't think people would actually want to vote for him. So people have already come out to say that, oh, the insecurity in Nigeria is too much. That's what people are saying. People even went as far as pointing accusing fingers to the government, that the government are the ones responsible for the killings in Nigeria. That is what they are saying. That they're the ones responsible for funding and sponsoring these bandits, these terrorists. They even went as far as saying that if the Nigerian government have the power to stop terrorism, they have the power to stop whatever is going on in Nigeria. They said it. They have the power to stop it. So if the government has refused to stop the insecurity in Nigeria, then you know that they love what is happening. Yes, they love what is happening. She just recently, the Benue women took to the streets to protest about the insecurity in Nigeria. They were seen lamenting. Just take a look at this video, guys, and watch the way the Benue women were seen protesting concerning the killings in Benue. That's what it is.
Our government are not doing the right thing. They have blocked the road now. Ataga Makode.
So guys, you guys watched that video, right? That was Benue women protesting about the killings going on in Benue State. Not only them, we're even seeing protesting. Even the people of River State, we are seeing protesting. Just watch what the River people were saying against Fulani herdsmen. They went on further to tell to say that the Nigerian government should remove Fulani leaders from their land, and also asked Wike and Asere the Kubo to do something about the Fulani herdsmen in River State. Guys, just watch this that really happened in River State, and I'll be right back.
What happened to people? Why can't you arrest those that are killing our people? Why is it that ever since Ogolis has been killed, nobody, police have not made any arrest? There have been no arrest, nobody has been arrested. We should go on dialogue with our killers, and we should go engage our killers. Why the people that killed us are living peacefully? I know to go and engage. Sir, at this point, you're not being realistic.
I won't say more than that. I will deliver their message to the Commissioner of Police. But my SC will want to chip in 1 or 2 words too.
A call for justice and protection of Ogoniland. We, the concerned citizens of Ogoniland, are compelled to raise our voice against the growing wave of violence and insecurity perpetrated by Fulani herdsmen within our communities. The recent attack in Yokuru, Ebubu, Sogo, Weke, which have resulted in the tragic loss of our innocent lives, have pushed our collective patience to its limits. This act of aggression is unacceptable or are unacceptable. We have endured enough. Immediately, we demand the immediate, unconditional departure of all Fulani herdsmen from Ogoniland. Yes, that continued presence pose a grave threat to the peace and security of our people. Yeah. Should this be ignored? Repeat. Should this be ignored? No. And I repeat again. Should this be ignored? No. We will be left with no choice. We will be left with no option but to defend ourselves. Yes. It will be clearly stated. Any further attack on the lives of the Ogoni people will no longer be reported to the Nigerian police and the security agencies. Yes. The people of Ogoni will resort to self-help and self-defense. Yes.
It's not like the CP is avoiding you. He feels your pains. You understand? But the issue is that CP has been making frantic effort to make sure that all these problems are nipped on the bud. One, there are these herdsmen, farmers, and stakeholders town hall meeting going on in Okehi, Andoni, Axis, and so many other local governments. They are going around local government by local government, and they do this in conjunction with various sole administrators of those particular LGAs. So these are steps CP has taken in resolving some of these crises. Perhaps they might not have reached around the Ogoni axis. But if not for the fact that the area commander is now on leave, Area Commander Buri, maybe you people wouldn't have been here. He would have addressed this issue. And we are making all effort to ensure that we arrest these perpetrators. Today, there is operation going in at Agbonchia Forest. As I am talking to you, this operation is still against the killers in River State.
So, guys, you guys have listened to what happened in River State, right? The protest they were making in River State concerning what happened in Ogoni, because of the way the Fulani herdsmen actually buyed many people in Ogoni in River State, and they are saying that they are tired of it. This to show you that it happened in Benue State recently, but now it happened in Rivers. Who knows the next state is going to happen? So if we don't take action now and defend ourselves, that means you know that Nigeria has actually been taken over. If we don't defend ourselves, then you know that finally the Fulani herders have actually taken over Nigeria and have actually Islamized Nigeria. That is what is going to happen. So, guys, you guys saw what the speaker said about the African leaders saying that they're going to sue Nigerian government. Why? Because the Nigerian government has refused to stop the abuse of human rights of his people. That is the reason why you see the African leader is saying that he's going to sue Nigerian government because of what they are doing. They are seeing everything going on. They are seeing the way that they are handling Mazi the Kalu's case. They are seeing the insecurity. They are seeing the way they're violating people's rights. So these people all have eyes and they are all watching what is going on. So, guys, the African leaders are saying that they're going to sue Nigerian government if care is not taken for the way things are going wrong in Nigeria. Like I told you guys, many people are really watching, right? Yes, people from other countries are watching. These organizations are watching, like the European Union, the UN. They're all watching what is going on in Nigeria, so they know what is currently going on right now in Nigeria. Anyway, guys, that's what we have for today. Let me know your thoughts below. Tell me what you really think about what those African leaders said about Nigerian government, saying that they're going to sue Nigerian government if they do not take correction now, and if they do not stop abusing people's rights. So, guys, let me know your thoughts below. And also, if you know you're new to this channel, please don't forget to click the subscribe button, like and share, and turn on the notification button to get all the latest news in this channel. So, guys, thanks for watching, and see you guys again in my next live section.